Morning children. So in the previous lesson was over with the last class. The first lesson got over with the last class, and now we are going to the second lesson, and the name of the second lesson is learning good habits. Okay, so we know about the good habits like getting up early in the morning, brushing the teeth, taking a bath, eating food, getting ourselves ready, going to the school on time, studying well, eating lunch, studying again, coming back home, playing for some times, taking a bath, isn't it? The routines, the daily habits that we know. Now we want to learn about good habits. Okay? Yeah, getting up late is a bad habit, getting up early is a good habit, isn't it? Yeah. There are some other things are also there. So this actually is told through a small story that happened in a classroom. So there is a school, there is a classroom inside the school, all the students were sitting there, teacher was also there, and then there came a boy. Okay, there came a boy, and Shekhar was a student. Okay, Shekhar was a student, and Shekhar came to the door and asked, "May I come in, madam? May I come in, madam?" Okay. During the break time also, when we go to the toilet and get late, and when we come, the teacher is already there in the class. We will ask them, "Excuse me, may I come in, madam?" Same way, Shekhar also asked, "May I come in, madam?" Okay. So what did Shekhar ask? "May I come in?" Okay. It's a question. The teacher looked at the door. Teacher saw Shekhar standing there. Teacher said, "Come in, please." Yeah, come in. Shekhar came inside. And when Shekhar came inside, he said, "Thank you, madam." What did he say? "Thank you, madam." And wished, "Good morning, ma'am." That is another thing, isn't it? Good morning, ma'am. Okay, so Shekhar came inside, and as Shekhar was walking, teacher said, "Take your seat, please, Shekhar. Go and sit in your place." Again, as Shekhar was walking towards his seat, he said, "Thank you, ma'am," again. Okay, so she did not only allow him to come in, but she also asked him to go and sit there comfortably. Okay, so teacher gave the permission, so obviously Shekhar thanked her. But when Shekhar went there was a problem. There is another boy in the class, his name is Vijay. What is his name? Vijay. So Vijay was doing something there. What was Vijay doing there? Vijay was throwing some paper on the floor. Papers are there, no? Papers, sheets. She was throwing some papers over there, and he was making the place look dirty. In the morning, the ayah has a command to sweep the room very well. It's very neat, clean and tidy. And there, Vijay was throwing some paper. And immediately, Shekhar said, "Madam, teacher, Vijay is throwing papers on the ground, on the floor." Okay. So what did the teacher, what did Shekhar say? What did Shekhar say? "Vijay is littering the class." Littering means throwing something down and making it ugly. Litter. Okay. L-I-T-T-E-R. L-I-T-T-E-R. Litter. To throw and make place ugly, untidy, not neat. Okay. So Shekhar saw Vijay throwing the papers down and he told the same to the teacher. What did the teacher do? Teacher called Vijay. Okay, and told Vijay, it's not good to throw papers on the floor. You do not throw papers on the floor. What should you do? Take them up and throw in the dustbin. We have dustbins in the classrooms, na? We have dustbins in the classrooms. Outside in the veranda also we may have dustbins. So that is the place where we should throw the waste. If you have to throw the paper, you can ask the teacher, teacher, can I throw this in the dustbin? Can I throw this in the dustbin? Teacher will allow you, you can go and throw it there in the dustbin. Okay, and if we do so, we will make our class neat. Right? So the teacher asked the students not to throw rubbish in the class. Rubbish means these kinds of waste. Papers, sometimes we will sharpen the pencil and the waste come up. What do? We throw it in the floor. Isn't it? No. We should take it to the dustbin and do it there. Okay. So as soon as the teacher told to pick up those papers and throw it in the dustbin, Vijay picked up all the papers and went and threw that in the dustbin. Okay. And then the teacher said, good boy. Okay. We should keep our classroom neat and clean. We should not throw these kinds of waste in the class and make the class untidy. We are sitting in the class and we should make our class neat and tidy. If you want to make your class neat and tidy, you should not throw these waste in the classroom. Okay? The teachers said it and the students agreed to that. What did they say? Yes, madam. They agreed to that. Okay? So keeping our surroundings, the place where we live or where we study, neat and clean is a good habit. Okay? So that is a good habit. What? Keeping the place where we live or we study neat and clean is a good habit. It's not just the classroom. It's not just the classroom. For example, in the evening when we go home, what do? We will remove the boots, the shoes, throw it there. Socks, pull it out and throw it there. Bag, on one corner. Pull out the dress and throw it in one place. Is that good? Is that good? Somebody has to come after us. Our mother may come. She will pick up the shoes and keep in the rack. She will take the socks and dump it in the basket of those used clothes. That is not the way. When we reach home, we should pull the shoes out, keep it in the shoe rack. Pull the socks out, take your cloth off and keep that in the basket. We should do it. And there may be in the school again, during the break time we may eat some candies, we may eat some chocolates, we may eat some biscuits. Isn't it? So these things have a wrapper. Isn't it? A plastic wrapper, a cover will be there. What do we do with that? Most often we will eat it, throw it. And when we throw all these kinds of things on the veranda, we are making our school dirty. We are making our school dirty. So what should we do? Definitely there will be a dustbin in the veranda. Either we should throw that wrapper in the dustbin in the veranda, or we should take that into the dustbin in the classroom and throw it over there. No rubbish should be thrown anywhere. If you throw these kinds of things on the road, what happens? It will make the road untidy, dirty. Sometimes we will do. The waste will be packed in the cover and throw it on the road. What will happen if you do so? Street dogs are there. They will come and tear open this cover. They will pull all the waste outside. It may or may not be useful for them, but they do not know. Okay? And then these things will lie on the road, that will decay. Bees, flies, house flies are there, no? Mosquitoes will spread on that. mosquitoes and house flies spread different kinds of diseases. So on roadsides also we can find huge dustbins kept by the panchayat or the municipality, isn't it? So if there is any dust, any waste, we can tie it in a cover, throw it into that dustbin. Okay, littering the place where we live, we sit. Imagine you have to sit in the middle of a lot of waste. All these wastes are piled there and you have to sit over there. How difficult is that? Huh? So that is not the good thing. So the best thing is, there is a place for that. There is a dustbin. Waste baskets will be there. We need to throw these waste on that. That is a first and foremost good thing, good habit that we have to learn. This is to be followed throughout our life. As long as we are alive, there will be definitely some other kind of waste coming up, and all these waste, not just papers or and all, any waste that happens in our life has to be kept like that. Okay, now there is another thing. See, asking permission politely. Okay, when Shekhar was late for the class, he stood there and asked for permission. May I come in, miss? Even we do ask it. The teacher say, yes, come in please. What do? We will run. Isn't it? We will run into the class, go somewhere and sit in our place. But we should thank the teacher, no? Huh? If the teacher says no, then we should sit in the veranda, outside the class. Our friends will be sitting inside the class and we will be standing outside the class. But the teacher didn't do that. What did the teacher do? Teacher said, yes, come in. So when the teacher allows us to come in, we should thank her. Okay? So that is another important thing. We should thank her. It's not just teachers. For example, you are at your home, your father came from his office in the evening and he brought you something, a chocolate or a biscuit or a wafer or a toy or a present or a gift, anything. When you take it, tell her thank you. Tell her thank you. Thank you, daddy. Thank you, papa. They will be very proud of you. When we get up in the morning, we wish the teachers at the school, na? When the teacher come into the class, we all stand up and sing a song, na? Good morning, miss. Isn't it? We need not sing that, but we should say, good morning, mama. Good morning, daddy. Or if you have brothers or sisters over there, we can wish them also good morning. Huh? So wishing them in the morning, then before you go to bed, at night before you go to bed, say good night mummy, or good night daddy, or good night brother, or good night sister. There is no problem in that. In school, we do this, not good night. We say good morning in the morning. In the afternoon, we say good afternoon. Isn't it? Huh? Yeah, we say good morning in the morning, good afternoon in the afternoon, and the last hours we may even say good evening. Okay, these are to be said not just to the teachers, we can say the same to our father, our mother. If there are grandparents at home, we can wish them also good morning and good afternoon and good evening, even good night. Okay, wishing them. Then, when they do something, we thank them. Imagine, Vijay dropped all the papers over there. So when the teacher come and ask you, Vijay, why do you throw it on the floor? If we do some mistake. Vijay did a mistake there. What is a mistake? What is a mistake done by Vijay? Vijay threw the paper on the floor. Isn't it? Vijay threw the paper on the floor. So when the teacher come and ask, what should he say? Sorry miss, or sorry madam. We should say sorry when we do some mistake to somebody. Okay, when somebody do you something, we should thank them. Okay, And if you want somebody to do something, see, may I come in, madam? Come in, please. Okay, when we want somebody to do something for us. For example, when you came in, your friend is sitting on a seat. What do you want? Your friend to move on, so that you can sit there. What should we say? Should we say move? No. Friend, move please. What is that? Please. Dear friend, please move. Okay, your pencil is missing. You do not know where you have kept your pencil. You want to ask your friend, your friend has 2 pencils with him. So you have to ask her or him. How do you ask? Can I have a pencil? Please. Okay, so when we use the words like thank you, sorry, please, that means we are being polite to them. Okay, we are being very polite to them. That is very important. Okay, so we should be polite to our friends, our elders, like father, mother, brother, sister, grandparents, uncle, aunt, anybody. When you get into your school bus in the morning, there will be an uncle in the school bus, na? An uncle will be driving the bus, and another uncle will be helping you to get into the bus. You can wish them also, good morning uncle. Nothing wrong in that. Okay, so when we do so, then they will think this is a good boy. She is a good girl. Okay, so these are the good habits. These are the good habits. We value others. We care for others. Okay, so these are some important things that we need to follow in our life. Right? So, what should we do in our daily life? When we get up in the morning, we can wish our father, mother, brother, sister, or even grandparents good morning. We can keep our bag ready for the school. When we go to the school, if you go by the school bus, you can wish them a good morning. You can wish your friends in the school bus a good morning. If you go by an auto driving uncle will be there, na? Oh, we can wish them a good morning. When we reach the school, we can wish them good morning. When the teacher comes, obviously we say, isn't it? Yeah. Then we should not throw the waste, dust and the paper around us. We should keep every place neat and clean. And if there is any waste, we should throw them in the dustbin. Right? If at home, do the same thing. If at school, do the same thing. We should not throw the waste around us. In the school, in the ground, or in the veranda, in the garden, on the street, anywhere. Okay, there will be some dustbins and we have to throw them in the dustbins only. In the afternoon, we can wish the people good afternoon. In the evening, we can wish the people good evening. And when we are back at home before we go to bed, we can wish our family members good night also. Right? Now, when we have to get something done. If we have to get something done, we have to ask for it politely. Okay? May I please or can I please? Then, if somebody do something for you, then you have to thank them by saying thank you. Right? Then, if you do some mistake, then you should say sorry. You should say sorry. If you want somebody to do something for you, you go into the market, you found a beautiful candy, a toffee, a chocolate. What should you ask? Mama, can you please buy it for me? Can you please buy it for me? Or can you buy that for me please? Please buy it for me. Okay? So when we want somebody to do something for us, then we should ask her, please. Okay? So these are some of the good habits that we have to learn, not only to learn, but to follow. Follow means do it every day. Right? As long as we are alive, we have to follow these things. Right? So that is the lesson, and now we will go on to the exercise part. Okay? So children, we have already completed the lesson part regarding the good habits, the importance of learning good habits, and now we have got some exercises and the question answers part related to this lesson. Okay, so now we will be doing that. So in that, the first one is a tick mark to the correct answers. So we have three statements, half statements taken from the lesson, and we have got four options each: A, B, C and D. What we need to do is, so we need to identify the correct option out of these four and attach the same to the sentence given. Alright, so we will start to read the questions one by one, and then we will consider all the options given on the sheet, and then we will finalize the correct answer. So what is the first question here? Vijay threw pieces of paper dash. So where did Vijay threw the pieces of paper? A, in the playground. B, in the garden. C, on the classroom floor. D, on the street. Fourth option is of no use because they were all sitting in the class, so they were inside the school. So the fourth option D, on the street, will not be the correct answer, isn't it? Then let us consider the other three options. In the playground. Was in the playground? Was it that Vijay threw the pieces of paper in the playground, and when they came back to the classroom, the other students complained the same to the class teacher? Was it so? It wasn't so, no? It wasn't so. He was not throwing the paper. He didn't throw the papers in the playground. Now the second option, in the garden. Was it so that the students were playing in the garden? Vijay threw some pieces of paper in the garden, and when they came back to the classroom, the other students made some complaint to the teacher. Was it so? No way. The third option, on the classroom floor. That was the right answer, I guess, no? They were all sitting inside the classroom. Vijay threw some papers on the classroom floor, inside the classroom. And when the teacher came in, the students complained that Vijay was throwing some paper on the classroom floor. Then the teacher made him pick them up, isn't it? So what is the right answer? On the classroom floor. So we will keep the tick mark here. So Vijay threw pieces of paper on the classroom floor. Right? So we should always develop what? Good habits, bad habits, none of the two. So what should we develop? We should develop good habits, no? We should always develop good habits. Is it good for us to develop bad habits? Is it good for us? No way, no? It's not at all good for us to develop bad habits. What if we develop both good and bad habits? What is the use of that? We develop both the good and bad habits. Is there any use? No way. None of the two. Means we should neither develop good habits nor develop bad habits. If we do not develop a good and a bad habits, then what habits should we develop? So that's of no use, isn't it? So the answer is, we should develop good habits. Now, the third one. We should always throw rubbish. Where? Where should we throw the rubbish? In the classroom, in the street, in the dustbin, on the floor. On the floor. Vijay did the same thing, no? In the class, he threw all the rubbish, the waste, the paper on the floor, and it made the classroom ugly, not neat, untidy, isn't it? The teacher came and scolded him. So we should not throw it on the floor. In the classroom, Is it good for us to think that IMA will come and sweep the class, so there is no problem, we make the classroom dirty by throwing all kind of waste and all these kinds of things? Is it good? Not at all good. So we should not throw it there. What about throwing the rubbish on the street? We do this sometimes. If there is much garbage at home, we will pack them all in a cover and we will throw it on the roadside. Is that good? No. When we did the lesson, we told about this, I think, yes, na? Yeah. There will be dustbins kept at the places where we need to throw all these rubbish. Okay. If we throw the rubbish on the street, what happens? Yeah, they will be lying over there. The stray dogs and all, they will not tear the paper open, the cover open, and they will spread the wastage over there. Mosquitoes and the flies will spread over there. They will spread a lot of disease. We discussed all these things in the class, I guess. Yeah. So where should we throw the rubbish? We should throw the rubbish in the dustbin. Okay. So now we have answered all the 3 questions over there. So we will read the same once again, and then I will leave you the screen for a while for you to observe and understand. Okay. So the first one is Vijay threw the pieces of papers on the classroom floor. Vijay threw the pieces of papers on classroom floor. Second, we should always develop good habits. We should always develop good habits. Third one, we should always throw rubbish in the dustbin. We should always throw the rubbish in the dustbin. So what do you mean by rubbish here? Rubbish means waste. Okay? Rubbish means waste. So now I will leave the screen for a minute so that you can read these and practice it once again. Okay? Right, children? Now we'll go on to the Next one. So here we have answered the following questions. So we have got some questions from the lesson Learn Good Habits over here. And what we need to do is we need to find the answers for this question, right? So we will open the questions one by one and then we will find the answers for that, right? So the first question is, who has taken the teacher's permission before entering the classroom? So who has taken the teacher's permission before entering the classroom? Shekhar has taken the teacher's permission before entering the classroom, right? So who has taken the permission? Shekhar. Shekhar has taken the permission of the teacher before entering the classroom. Okay. Now, shall we go to the second question? What is the second question here? What does Shekhar say when his teacher asked him to take his seat? So Shekhar came in after taking the permission of the teacher. The teacher asked him to take his seat. It means to go and sit in his seat. Then what did Shekhar say then? What did Shekhar say? So let's check the answer. Shekhar says, "Thank you, madam," when his teacher asked him to take his seat. Right? So what did Shekhar says? Shekhar says, "Thank you, madam," means Shekhar thanked the teacher for allowing him to get into the classroom and to take his seat. Okay? So Shekhar says, "Thank you, madam," when his teacher asked him to take his seat. Right? So now we'll go on to the third question. Who litters the room? Litters means, spoils, damage. Okay. Who was the person who spoiled the room there? Vijay litters the room. What did Vijay do? Vijay threw the papers on the floor, isn't it? So Vijay litters the room. Okay. So before going for the next questions, we will read these questions once again. So what's the first question? Who has taken the teacher's permission before entering the classroom? Shekhar has taken the teacher's permission before entering the classroom. Who has taken the permission? Shekhar has taken the permission. Second question. What does Shekhar say when his teacher asks him to take his seat? So what did Shekhar say when his teacher asked him to go and take your seat? Shekhar says, "Thank you, madam," when his teacher asked him to take his seat. So Shekhar said, "Thank you, madam," when his teacher asked him to go and take his seat. Right? The third one. Who litters the room? Who spoils the room? Vijay litters the room. Vijay spoils the room. Okay. So now I will keep the screen for a minute so that you can read the questions once again. Right, children? So now we will go on to the next questions. Who picks up the pieces of paper from the floor? So Vijay threw the papers on the floor over there. So who picked it up? Vijay picks up the pieces of paper from the floor. So what happened there? Vijay threw the pieces of paper on the floor. Shekhar complained it to the teacher. Teacher scolded Vijay and teacher asked him to pick the papers up, isn't it? Okay. So as the teacher asked him to pick the papers, Vijay started picking the papers, right? So Vijay picks up the pieces of paper from the floor. Who picks the paper? Vijay himself picks the papers up, right? So now we'll go on to the last question here. Where does Vijay throw the pieces of paper? So Vijay, as the teacher said, picked the papers from the floor, and where did he throw them? Yeah, Vijay throws the pieces of paper in the dustbin. So the teacher asked him to throw the pieces of papers in the dustbin. So as the teacher said, Vijay picked up the papers and threw them in the dustbin. Okay. So they are the 5 questions, and before we finish this session, I will keep the screen for another minute so that you can read these 2 questions also. Right, children? So we have done with the 2 activities related to the lesson in this lesson, learn good habits. The next is the fun with the grammar. So we will meet with the fun with the grammar in the next lesson. Okay. So until then, you can use the PDF in which you have this lesson attached to this. So you can read the lesson part in that. You will have the questions also over there, and you can copy the questions from this video. Right? So till we meet the next time with the activity, the fun with the grammar part of this lesson, take care. Right? Thank you.